Messrs. D, B and R carried on business of drapers and tailors in Delhi. D was in charge of Department A dealing in cloth, B of Department B for selling garments, and R of Department C, the tailoring section. It had been agreed that each of the three partners would receive 75% of the profit disclosed by the accounts of the department of which he was in charge, and the balance of combined profits would be shared in proportion D 1 by 2, B 1 by 4, and R 1 by 4. The following is the trading and profit and loss account of the firm for the 6 months ended March 31, 2013. You have opening stock, which is cloth ready-made tailoring jobs. Okay, then you have purchases for all the three. You have salaries, advertising, rent, discount allowed, sundry expenses, depreciation on furniture, then net profit. Here you have sales of cloth ready-made and tailoring, discount received, closing stock of ready-made tailoring, okay, and cloth. In tailoring, this includes 5,700 goods transferred from Department A. After consideration of the following, prepare departmental trading and profit and loss account and profit and loss appropriation account. The cloth of the value of 10,700 and other goods of the value of 600 were transferred at selling price by Department A and B respectively to Department C. Cloth and garments are sold in the showroom. Tailoring work is carried out in the workshop. The details of the salaries and wages are as available. General office 50%, showroom 25%, and 25% for workshop, which is for tailoring. Allocate general office expenses in the proportion of 3:2:1 among the departments ABC. Distribute showroom expenses in the proportion of 1:2 between departments A and B. The workshop rent is 1,000 per month. The rent of the general office and showroom is to be divided equally between department A and B. Depreciation charges are to be allocated equally amongst the three departments. All other expenses are to be allocated on the basis of turnover. Discount received are to be credited to three departments as 400, 250, 150. Opening stock of Department C does not include any goods transferred from Department A. Fine. So with this background, let's get started. So with this backdrop, let's get started. What is our objective? We have to prepare the departmental trading and profit and loss account and profit and loss appropriation account by considering this trading and P&L as well as the additional information. It means many items have to be given live, and understand this is for the period of 6 months only, not a complete year. This is only for a period of 6 months. Okay, let's get started. The first item what we have is the opening stock. Let's capture that. So here I have the structure in the books of Mrs. DBR, departmental trading and profit and loss account, and this is not for the year ended. We'll say for the 6 months ended, right? It's for the 6 months ended 31st March 2013. We'll capture opening stock. What is the opening stock? We have 37,890, 24,000 and 20,000. Let's capture 37,890, then 24,000 and 20,000. So let me total this. So this is going to be the total. Let me make use of the formula over here and even here. Fine. So we have captured the opening stock now. The next item what we have is purchases for cloth, ready-made garments and tailoring. Okay, let's capture it. We'll say two purchases is 1,47,00, 80,600 and 44,400. So this is the total purchase. Then we have sales here. Let's capture the sales by sales. It's 180,000, so we'll say buy sales 180,000 for A and 130,000 for B and 90,000 for C. Okay, so we have captured that. And any other additional information? Yes, there is a closing stock. Okay, closing stock of A, B and C is also available. Let me just leave a line here, and here I'll write buy closing stock. It's 45,100 for A and 22,300 for B, and for C it is 21,600. Okay, So that is also captured. Any other item that can find place in trading account. So here what we have is a consolidated one. So we'll pick up the item related to trading. So here if you notice you have salaries and wages. Okay, and is there any other additional information? Okay, probably item number 3 is going to give us a hint about it. But let's see the additional information one by one. Let's see whether anything can be related to it. Point number 1, cloth of value of 10,700 and other goods of the value of 600 were transferred at selling price by Department A and B. So for Department A and for Department B, there is a transfer. So let's capture the transfer. We'll say by internal transfer. For Department A, they are transferring 10,700 and Department B is transferring 600. So they have transferred how much? 11,300 to whom? It is transferred to Department C. So for Department C, it's going to be an expense. Okay, so they'll record it as to internal transfer, which had come from A and B, right? Okay, so point number 1 is taken care. Number 2, cloth and garments are sold in showroom, whereas tailoring work is carried out in the workshop. Now, this information is going to help us find something. What is that? See, the details of salaries and wages are available. We know the salaries and wages are 48,000. Now, this 48,000 got to be split. Why? Because this 48,000 is for general office purpose, for showroom and workshop, and workshop is dedicated for tailoring. So whatever the 25% of the salary that is paid for workshop, that directly goes to tailoring. Okay, and that is very critical because that is going to form part of the direct expenses. Okay, so what we can do is we can have a working note for salaries and wages. Probably I'll have it here. Fine, I have this structure. So based on the information given in the question, total salaries and wages, how much? So it is 48,000. What we have to understand is what are the purposes, I mean for what purposes these salaries and wages are paid. Okay, I would say number 1, it is for general office and it works out to 50%. Okay, so it's 48,000 into 50%, 24,000. Number 2, it goes for showroom and it is 25%. So 48,000 into 25. And number 3, it is for workshop and that is also 25%. Okay, right. I'm sorry, 0.25. Fine. Now, if you note all the 3, it is not specifically earmarked for a particular department. So it's for particular purpose. So we should know what are the respective departments. If you go back to the question says this general office expenses should be distributed in the proportion of 3:2:1. So whatever the salary that was allocated for general office should be distributed amongst all the 3 departments. Okay, whereas the showroom expenses should be distributed in the ratio of 1:2 between department A and B only, whereas we understand this workshop is basically for tailoring work. So the workshop expenses would go specifically to tailoring department. Okay, so that's where we need a calculation. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a table. Let me have a table like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to allocate these expenses between 3 departments based on the understanding what we have now. The first one is general office, the second one is showroom, the third is workshop. Now we are basically in this trading account and we are trying to close this account. So one item which can possibly come in this account is the salaries and wages, which are going to the department C, which is purely a tailoring department. Okay, so let me do the allocation. See, this general office salary 24,000 should be split between the department A, B and C in the ratio of 3:2:1. So let me capture that here. It's 24,000 into 3 by 6, so it's 12,000. 24,000 into 2 by 6 and 24,000 into 1 by 6. Now please understand, this is for 3 departments, but the nature of this expense is related to general office, so this is not direct expense, so this should be taken to P&L. Similarly, the showroom expenses, the understanding says it should be distributed between department A and B in the ratio of 1:2. It means 12,000 into 1 by 3 and 12,000 multiplied by 2 by 3, so 4,000 and 8,000, and nothing for department C here. Whereas the workshop is purely for which department? I mean, the workshop is basically for tailoring, and here C is tailoring, so this entire 12,000 can be attributed to department C. And please understand, this tailoring is a direct activity, okay, whereas showroom is a selling activity, general office is an admin activity, so these two should come under P&L, whereas this should come under trading account. Okay, so with this understanding, let's go back. So here we say to wages will capture it only under department C, and the amount involved is this 12,000. Fine. So we have captured this as well, and we have also captured the closing stock. So now it's time to close this trading account. Let's close this. Let's see what is the total on credit, 235, whereas on debit it is lesser, so let's follow this total, 235,800. And for department B, department C, and let's see what is the total here, it's 5,300,000. And let's follow the credit side totals, right? Fine. So here we are going to have a difference, 235,800 minus some of these. So we get 57,210, 48,300 and 23,900. And what is this? This is nothing but the gross profit. Okay, so we'll say to gross profit carry down, and we'll bring them here by gross profit brought down. It's 57,210, 48,300 and 23,900, and the total is 129,410. And question is not yet over. Next we have other items. See here, one item which we can take into consideration is this discount received, that is 800. Now how we are going to distribute this discount received? What is the pattern? It is given directly in the question. Please split it as 400, 250 and 150. Let's do that. By discount received, it's going to be 400, 250 and 150, and so the total is 800. Fine, that is taken care. Then all other items over here we have captured. Okay, but that is giving us some hint over here. This 22,300 includes 5,700 transferred from department A. We'll keep this in mind, we'll make use of it at appropriate time. Salaries and wages, what should appear in trading account we have given effect, but P&L effect yet to be given. Okay, so here we say to salaries and wages. Okay, so under that probably I can give something related to general office and something related to showroom. So related to general office, and it was agreed that got to be split between all the 3 departments, right? So this is the calculation. The total salary was 24,000, but what should go to A was 12,000, B is 8,000, C is 4,000. So let's capture 12,000, 8,000 and 4,000, and if I total this I get 24,000. So this is general office. Then comes showroom. I can pick up from here. Showroom, the total is 12,000, whereas it is divided only between A and B. For A it's going to be 4,000 and for B it's going to be 8,000, and here it's nothing, so it's 12,000. Okay, then any other expenses, we can go back to the question. there are advertisement expenses. Now, how these advertisement expenses should be distributed? If you read the question says look for the specific allocation. If nothing is given, then all other expenses are to be allocated on the basis of turnover. So here you have the basis of allocation for turnover 180, 130 and 90. Okay, so let's adopt that. We'll say to advertisement. Okay, and what is the advertisement amount? It is 2400. So this 2400, if I want to arrive at the sales ratio, what I have to do is I have to compare with the total sales, which is 4 lakh multiplied by 1,80,000. So I get 1080. Fine. Similarly, for department B, it's going to be 2400 multiplied by 4 lakh divided by 1,80,000, or I'm sorry, 2400 divided by 4 lakh multiplied by 1,30,000. I get 780 here. And third case, 2400 divided by 4 lakh multiplied by 90,000, I get 540, and if I total this, I get 2400. So advertisement is also taken care. Then we have rent. Just see whether square feet details are available. You can do it, otherwise you have to do it on the basis of a turnover. But here if you look at it, you have the workshop rent is 1000 per month, and workshop is attributed to department of tailoring, which is department C. The rent of general office and showroom is to be divided equally between the departments A and B. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to say to rent, and we are doing it for the period of 6 months. So workshop rent, that is department C, is 1000 multiplied by 6 months, it is 6000. And we know the total rent. What is the total rent that is paid here? It is 10,800. So 10,800 is the total rent, of which 6,000 is for department C. So the remaining is actually 4,800. Now that should be divided equally between two departments. So it's going to be 2,400 and 2,400. If you total this, you get the total. It is 10,800. Okay, so that's about rent. Then you have discount allowed, and that is basically on your customers, right? Discount allowed is on your customers. So we can have the sales ratio to discount allowed. And what is the amount? The amount is 1200. So it's going to be simple, 1200 divided by 4 lakhs multiplied by 1,80,000. So I get 540. So let me just freeze this 4 lakh. So 540, 390 and 270. So in this way I'm arriving at the ratio, and my total is 1200. Then next item, we have sundry expenses. So if the specific allocation is not available, you have to go by turnover basis, right? Fine. So sundry expenses is 12,000. So this 12,000 I have to allocate on the basis of sales. So this is 1200, for which these are all the numbers. So I'm just going to add another 0. So I get 5,400, 3,900 and 2,700. Simple. So to sundry expenses, it's going to be 5,400, 3,900 and 2,700. So I get 12,000. So that is also taken care. Then we have depreciation on furniture and fittings, and question says depreciation should be allocated equally amongst all the three departments. So we'll say to depreciation, it should be allocated equally, right? And what is the depreciation amount? It is 750. So it's 750 divided by 3, so it's going to be 250. Sorry, yeah, it is 250. So we have the total 750. So depreciation is also taken care. Do we have any other items still pending? I think more or less we have captured all. So let me do the totaling now. Let's see whether we have missed out any item. Credit total 57,610, 48,550, 24,050, and total is 130,210. And I'm sure on the debit side it is short. So let me carry the credit total itself, and let me see what is the difference here. 57,610 minus sum of all the items here. So I get 31,940. So this is my net profit, and here it is 24,830, and it is 10,290. And if I total this, I get 67,060. So this is the net profit. But let me not jump for the conclusion, because the problem is not yet complete, for the reason they want us to prepare profit and loss appropriation account also. Okay, so what I'll do, let me transfer this profit to P&L appropriation account. So here I have P&L appropriation account. So here I'm going to say by net profit, right, transferred from P&L account. And what is the amount involved? It is 67,060. Now, why I should do this? See, I should do this because the profits got to be distributed amongst the partners. Question says 75% of the profits disclosed by the accounts of the departments, and the remaining profits should be distributed in this ratio. But we have to keep in mind that Department C has received goods worth 10,700 and 600 from A and B, and it is also given in the question the closing stock of Department C includes 5,700 received from Department A. So now we have a concern, because when these departments are sending goods, they are sending goods at their selling price. It means this unsold goods which is lying in Department C has a profit element of Department A. So when you are preparing the departmental P&L, I have no issue, let this profit continue. But when the trading and P&L is prepared for the company as a whole, I cannot have this unrealized profit on the stock. So that profit got to be removed. But how do I know what is the profit which is included in this 5,700? Because the profit margin information is not given in the question. So for that, the answer is find out what is the profit margin of Department A. Remove that profit margin from this stock. It's simple. Okay, so have a look here. Look at this. This is the sales made by Department A, and they also made a transfer to other departments. Okay, right. Now this is their income, and for that, these are their expenses. So now I'm interested in understanding what is the gross profit of this Department A. Gross profit I know, but I want to know what is the gross profit margin. So let me put it here, gross profit margin of Department A, including goods sent to other departments, because that's where we have the issue, right? So let me write this first. Item A, their gross profit. What is your gross profit? It is 57,210. Now this got to be compared with the say revenue for Department A. Okay, and the revenue for Department A is this 1,80,000 plus 10,700, so 1,90,700. So gross profit margin, okay, if I'm going to express that in percentage, if I express that in percentage, it's going to be 57210 divided by 190,700. Let me convert this to percentage, so it's 30%. So now I understand that the closing stock of Department C includes 5,700 worth of goods received from A, which includes gross profit margin of 30%. Okay, so my task is removing that. How I'm going to do that? It's simple. On the debit side, I'll write to stock reserve. And what is this? 5,400 multiplied by 30%. That's it. So this got to be removed. 5,400 multiplied by 30%. So, sorry, it's not 5,400, a small correction. What is the value of the stock? It is 5,700. Okay, excuse me for that. It's 5,700. So here we have 5,700 into 30%, so I have 1,710. Fine. So now I'm going to have the profit. So here I'll have a working note, profit of the firm after providing for stock reserve is equal to, or I'll put it here, item A, net profit transfer from P&L account. This is the net profit. Fine. Item B, less stock reserve, which is this. So this is the profit available for partners. But here we have an issue. I cannot deduct this alone. Why? What is the problem? If you read the question says the partners would receive 75% of the profits disclosed by the departments of which he is in charge, and balance of the combined profits only would be shared in this proportion. Now what I have done is I'm trying to distribute the balance profit in a proportion which cannot be, because some profit distribution is required. That is, each and every partner are entitled to some share of profit, and that is nothing but 75%. Okay, so who are the partners? The partners are D, B and R. So I can say to D's account, to D's capital account. Okay, now what is the profit reported by the department for which D is in charge? D is in charge for A, department A. So on this 31,940, he is entitled to, look at here, I'm writing here 75%. It means he is entitled to 23,955. Similarly, the other two partners are B and R. So I'll write to B's capital account and to R's capital account. Okay, B is entitled to a profit of say 24,830 multiplied by 75%, it is 18,622.50, and R is entitled to profit share on this 10,290 multiplied by 75%, it is 7,717.50. Okay, so this is done. Now let us find out what is the profit available for distribution. How? Already I've captured the profit, I've deducted the stock reserve. Let me deduct less 75% share of profit. So probably I'll say some of these three. So that is also deducted. Now we have the profit available for partners. Let me see how much it is. It is only 15,055. Now this 15,055 got to be distributed to all the three partners. Who are they? D's capital account, then we have R's capital account, and we have, sorry, not R, we have B's capital account, and we have R's capital account. But in what ratio? That is once again given in the question. The ratio is 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. That is 50%, 25 and 25. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this 15,055 into 50%. That is 7527. This multiplied by 25%. This multiplied by 25%. Okay, so this is the profit which is after providing for 75% profit share and stock reserve. Okay, so this should also be credited to the partner's capital account. Okay, so what we'll do with this, let me add this also. Okay, so what I'm going to do, already we have calculated this where we have some value which is 23,955. With that, let me add this also, 7527.5. Let me check, there is a circular reference. Okay, let me avoid the circular reference by just typing this. It's going to be 7527.50. Let me see. So I'm keying in now. It's 7527.50. Fine, so I get 31,482, and here let me close the bracket. It is 3763. It is 3763.75, right? And in third case, again, it is say it is again I'm adding another 3763.75, so it is 11,481. Now let me total this. Obviously I think we'll be getting the same, because it is just that balancing figure that got distributed. So 67,060, this is also 67,060, and so we have completed this problem, right?